4 minutes after 8 o'clock, it's time for tea. Island tea, to be more specific. And to be even more specific, Candy Face and me. A little poem.
Good. Oh, really? I bet you it only has 2 lines.
What's up?
Good morning. I am fine. It is a nice, cool morning. We had a little shower of blessing this morning. I think I missed when it actually happened, but my car gave it away.
I actually woke up when it happened, and it seemed to, it's apparently like, you know how weird it is how stuff that's going on around you real time while you sleep somehow segues into your dream and seems like a pre-planned part of the dream.
See, subconscious.
You know what I mean?
Control.
Like, yeah, so because in my dream something was going on where
rain was falling?
No, where like everyone was shocked that it's actually raining.
Oh wow. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. What is Jamster saying about the rain? He's talking about the rain in
Spain?
Spain?
He dreamt the rain and the rain came true.
No. I was saying, you know, Azard.
Are you like Joseph now?
No, Azard. You know how sometimes you're having a dream, right?
Yeah.
And somehow the dream fuses perfectly with the life that's going on around you when you wake up.
Yeah. Also, you were
like almost like it was planned.
You were dreaming about rain and you woke up with the rain falling.
Can we get some more tonight?
Well,
link us.
Yeah.
I don't want to wash my car again. Link us. So,
could you dream about some chilly weather as well?
You guys got jokes.
Because this heat wave is too much.
I know.
These extreme temperatures too much. So I really
it's a little bit crazy.
hope that you dream about some cool chilly breeze flowing through St.
While it's raining.
Yes.
You know, I could tell you guys would have a great, they have this writers strike out in Hollywood.
We should go?
Yeah, you guys should go and fill in.
All three of us.
Especially for the comedy. Man, guys.
Listen, you gotta start the day off positive, right?
Yes, so you do.
Here's my bit of positivity for today.
Okay, spill the tea, Candy.
Yes. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create.
Awesome.
What you think, you become. So I'm thinking cool right now, right?
Yes.
What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. You should see my latest window display.
Oh my.
So it's definitely working.
Yes. I love that quote. Love that quote. We are what we think in a sense, One time I looked at this quote, I read this quote says that your mind is a garden. You understand?
Yes.
You could either plant seeds or you could plant seeds of fruit that would blossom fruit or cultivate fruit, or you could plant weeds.
Or landmines.
You understand?
In my case. No, I'm just joking.
You see, so your mind is like a garden. So it depends on how you want to.
We better send a landscaper over to Jamster.
We better send. I'm thinking we better send the cops over.
I know, right? He can't hear you. Thank heavens.
You think?
Oh gosh. Listen, you guys are on fire this morning. So, how's everything otherwise? Like I literally just saw an article. Do we have any notes on what happened in the National Assembly yesterday? Did we hear anything?
I didn't hear. I tried to look. I was looking bits and pieces because yesterday I had primarily court. So I saw that there seemed to have been a statement made by the constituency number 2 representative, Honorable Masha Henderson.
Oh, okay.
I think it was in relation. I think it was in relation to flights and music festival. That's what I heard from that point in time. I still have to go back and listen to the entire thing.
So we got to take that apart.
It was about 2 hours, and I think it was when I look at the stream, I think it was about 2 hours, a little after 2 hours. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, something. So
I was completely engrossed in work. So I saw that. This is a Loop article. It just came out like 8 minutes ago. It said SKN government increases home sizes in the new housing project. So Minister of Housing and Human Settlement, Dr. Jeffrey Hanley, announced that the government has decided to increase the sizes of homes that will be built as part of the government's new home ownership project. And I know this has been a very contentious topic, and I know one of the reasons persons were complaining was the sizes of the homes, and I guess the design to an extent. So he said, speaking in the National Assembly on Monday, Hanley stated that the decision to increase the size of the homes came after members of the public, give feedback at the NHC Housing Fair on May 18. A one-bedroom house increased from 450 square feet to 592 square feet. The two-bedroom homes will go from 862 square feet to 879 square feet, while the three-bedroom houses will increase from 1,200 square feet to 1,288 square feet. So there's been a little bit of change there.
I see. They're constant changes.
But they're listening. so think the positive.
Yeah.
They're listening, right?
Yeah, they're listening. So we're seeing constant changes.
Yeah.
So if there's a change in that, there would be an amendment to the contract then, or is it that
Oh boy,
the
listen to what you're going to ask me now. I
already-
literally saw the article.
or is it that the contract already is worded in such a way that that change wouldn't affect anything, you know what I
Take
mean?
this moment to drink my coffee.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, there are
What-
changes happening.
Yes,
so
they
let's
are.
see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
With all of the negotiating, these larger homes will not attract any additional costs. None whatsoever. And I'm happy to report that, Hanley said.
Okay.
So I guess our takeaway is that they're listening and they're trying to fix what people are complaining about.
I see. My takeaway is that there are changes upon
I
changes.
knew you would have a different takeaway.
But we're all entitled to our opinions.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
But I'm glad that, for the people's sake, that, changes are being made. But the only issue with me had always been, it seemed like there was already something done and then it's just constant changing. And we haven't seen, we haven't seen the contract, what stipulations, what amendments will be needed, I don't know. Does this even affect the contract? That's another consideration based on the wording and based on what's going on in the contract.
Right.
So, but does this delay the construction of the homes? Because I think that the first homes was supposed to be started in June.
Well,
as you think about these things, the other question pop up in your mind.
let me do some math here. I'm trying to figure out what the only one I can really see like a major change in the size is the one bedroom. All right, if you look at the others, it's the three bedroom is 88 feet extra. The two bedroom is what is it? What are the measurements? It's like 17 feet extra. And I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's a good amount of space added. I'm just trying to figure out where they added it, and like you said, is it gonna delay the construction?
And then afterwards, would that affect the design of the home? Because if you're going to change the size of the home, won't you then have to change the design in a certain way? What are you making bigger? You see, the more you have time to think about changes, the more questions come. So, it just my mind rattling off. Maybe I had too much tea this morning.
What type of tea did you have? Because we're definitely cutting that out of your diet.
I actually just had a glass of water.
What?
Yeah. So maybe I should have drunk some
Would
tea.
you like to have some of my coffee?
Just
I'm
water.
definitely calm.
Just water.
He's
So
not.
bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I mixed I had protein shake too. I had a bit of protein
this
and
is the
water.
protein talking, yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So this was.
Because he bopped in here like on some type of high. I'm like, what did you drink this
It's
morning?
gonna be a beautiful day.
Meanwhile, I came in and sat down for a good 10 minutes just to cool off.
Yes, that's why we're saying that Jamso should really think about, your quote that you spoke about, create what you want. So Jam, so let's all think about the creation of some rain, some wind, less heat.
Wind.
Nice cool
Be
weather.
careful what you careful what you say around
Okay,
this
yeah,
time.
He did
yeah,
not
yeah.
say
Wind.
cyclone type wind.
Yeah.
He
Not
just
strong,
said wind.
not
Said
strong.
wind.
Jeez.
Just a little breeze.
Just keep it to hot
You
air,
can't
man.
just balance.
Wait, what happened
Just
to
keep
it?
it-
Okay, we just want a little breeze.
Just keep it to hot
Nice,
air.
cool
Just
Caribbean
keep
breeze.
it. Just keep it to politician generated hot air.
Oh,
How about that?
Be careful, we have guests coming.
Oh yes, we have Janelle Powell at 8:30. So he's gonna come and have a discussion with us.
I hope he's listening to you.
And then we also have Craig Tuckett, who's an attorney at law, who's gonna be we're gonna have a discussion about the Haitian situation that we had here in St. Kitts
It's
and
gonna be a
Nevis.
busy morning.
Yeah. So hopefully persons are going to stick and stay to the discussions that we have ahead.
So you guys are the resident lawyers. So
Oh, boy.
no. I was just
Mhm.
wondering about I'm still confused about the Cameroonian and the Haitian thing. So
Well, you'll have all of your questions answered about the Haitian thing because he's going to be here at 9. So I am not attempting to
I'm
answer
trying to get
everything.
some facts as it relates to it because as you see, not much information was really given out to the
I mean,
public.
because it just seems that we just fold at
Oh,
the
gosh.
slightest sneeze.
You and I had this discussion yesterday.
No,
but
I
then,
mean,
but then
no,
we don't.
because
In all fairness, we don't know.
so
what
the
occurred.
Antigans just get off scot free.
How is it about the Antigans
No,
getting off
what I'm
scot-free?
saying,
Let's hear.
meaning in the sense, no, once
I know
get
where
off-
you're going,
I
let's
mean
hear.
in the sense that they left there and dude up and says, "Well, I'm not taking them back."
So no,
we're
so
stuck
so
with the
let's
bill.
start over. You brought them down for your own purposes. They
Yes.
left there for their own purposes, and now you, who introduced them into this area,
you.
don't want to take them back. So
Thank-
let's say it that way,
Thanks for the refinement.
right? But I think what Dr. Drew did was the right thing. He's trying to approach it from a diplomatic standpoint.
So I
because
got-
at the end of the day, these persons are caught in a whole situation that yes, they did board the plane, but I'm pretty sure that's not what was promised to them.
So I got
right?
some
So now they're
background.
like basically caught in the middle of a storm.
I got some background information not too long ago, and just not too long ago, because while I was coming here, you saw me when I came in and went out. I was trying to get some information.
Yes,
So
I was like, who's peeking?
yes. So apparently, from a reliable source, 14 Haitians paid a boat captain in Dominica to smuggle them into St. Martin. The captain was Dominican. They had engine trouble off Nevis, and the captain plus one came into Nevis. They were spotted and everyone detained in Nevis. Captain was convicted of smuggling. 14 Haitians, including one pregnant, and 2 minors were detained and were returned to Haiti.
Pregnant.
Yeah, Tuckett got an ex parte injunction to prevent return. Government agreed to provide them with asylum hearings, so judge discontinued the injunction.
Hold on. Back up all the way back to 1 pregnant and 2 minors, and
Yeah.
those were returned to Haiti. The
Were
pregnant
detained.
woman,
They-
detained. Oh.
So 14 Haitians,
So there's
including
everybody
1
still here,
pregnant
okay.
and 2 minors were detained. And were returned to Haiti. So I'm seeing here 14 Haitians, including 1 pregnant and 2 minors were detained and were to be returned. Sorry.
Oh, to be returned.
Were to
okay,
be
because I'm saying
returned.
so they sent some and left some.
Yeah, so sorry. So 14 Haitians, including 1 pregnant and 2 minors, were detained and were to be returned to Haiti. Tuckett got an ex parte injunction to prevent return.
Right.
Ex parte is when you only
You don't
have
have to show up,
when the side that's bringing the injunction, that's the only side that's present. So the other side ain't there. So he has an ex parte injunction to prevent the return. The government agreed to provide them with asylum hearings, so judge discontinued the injunction. So the injunction was discontinued after the government decided to give them asylum. Hearings. Yeah.
I was brushing up on it. We read a news article last night, so that I could be on, I guess, on the same page. So the article basically says what you just highlighted. Exactly what happened. But we just don't know some of the arguments and some
Yeah.
of the things that occurred. So it'd be good for.
So the PM said yesterday at Parliament that the situation in Haiti has gotten worse and the president of Haiti confirmed this at CARICOM heads of government meeting with Kamala last week. So government decided to release them to be taken care of by the local Haitian community on compassionate grounds.
Right, because the local community had petitioned for them to be released to them and said that they would be willing to take care of them.
So the only other options for a government are to return to original home or last home from immigration perspective. If the asylum request fails, they could never get asylum given that they lived in Dominica years prior. So what I'm getting from this is that they were to be returned to Haiti. An injunction was filed to prevent them from being returned, and then the government interceded and agreed to provide them with asylum hearings. So the injunction was discontinued. And so now it seems as though they were released. Well, they were released, not seems as though they were released. The government decided to release them to be taken care of by their local Haitian community on compassionate grounds. So to be eligible for asylum in the United States, a person must first meet the definition of a refugee as established in the Immigration and Naturalization Act. This means that they have a fear of persecution due to their race, religion, nationality, political opinion, and their inclusion in a particular social group.
So now my problem with this is so there's no guarantee that they'll get
it seems to me that the hearing is to take place.
One of the things I know.
No, but what I'm saying, there's no guarantee they're gonna get refugee status, right?
There's no guarantee because based on the information that I have, the hearing, it seems as though the hearing is to take place. So while they're going to have the hearing, in waiting for the hearing, they now are with the
But my thing is releasing them to the Haitian community here. I mean, like I said to Candy yesterday, what could go wrong? I mean, what's stopping them from?
So one of the arguments that Mr. Tuckett put forward was that Haiti is a full-fledged CARICOM member, and what usually happens when you're visiting a Caribbean, a CARICOM country, oh my goodness, is that you're granted a period of stay, 6 months or less. The problem with this was the way they came in.
Because they said what are the ones who said they were going shopping?
They said they were going shopping in St. Martin, and then the boat had issues, and so the captain pulled over in Nevis, I guess to check it out. So,
but then
so that was one of the arguments that as a CARICOM member state, these are CARICOM members.
That would have been initially how I feel. I feel that was the initial argument when the injunction was in place. But then when the asylum proceedings were taking place, I think that then the argument became the refugee status, and then the injunction was discontinued.
But so you're saying that the original premise is not admissible in the case going forward?
No, I'm saying the injunction.
It started off one way and then
we're rich people. We're going to St. Martin to shop.
It started off.
And then now, we're refugees. Which is it? You can't have it both ways.
Well, save your questions. Make little notes. He's on his way.
Let's let's take a short break, and then we'll come back.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WIN FM.
Everybody beware, you better prepare. Disaster can happen anytime, anywhere. Everybody beware, you better prepare. Disaster can happen anytime, anywhere.
How do I prepare a disaster plan? Step 1. Learn as much as you can. The first step is research. Do not wait until a disaster is coming to find important information. This step is incredibly important for your plan. Here are some things you should find out. What hazards are you exposed to? Do you live near the ocean or any rivers? Are you near to a volcano? The type of hazard you're exposed to will determine the way you prepare yourself. Find out about disaster plans at your child's school and at your workplace. Are there persons with disabilities in your family? Do you know how to help them? What about your pets? Do you have a plan for them? For more information, visit nima.kn or log on to Nima SKN on Facebook.
Everybody beware, you better prepare. Disaster can happen anytime, anywhere. Everybody beware.
June is the month of fathers and dads at Horsewood Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Home Store. So come now for their dad deals and discount sale event during the entire month for dads in June. This Fathers and Dads month of June, get up to 30% off on TVs, recliner TV stands, and mattresses. Yes, get dad deals and discounts up to 30% off on selected items, including TVs, recliners, TV stands, mattresses, and more. Happening now and for the entire month of June for fathers and dads at Horsewood Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Home Store. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
8:26, and there is no weekly dose this morning, so hope you guys don't get withdrawal symptoms. No, I was telling them no, there's no weekly dose today. So I'm just trying to stay off any withdrawal symptoms that might come.
Definitely gonna have to fill that gap.
Yeah, I know.
It's just for this week. It's just for this week.
Yeah.
Doctor will
Okay.
be back next week.
So no, I mean, my thing with that thing is
Your thing with
It
that
just-
thing.
well, you know,
sorry, you're gonna have to be a bit
the
more
Haitian.
specific.
Okay, so let me ask you: with the Cameroonians,
Mm-hmm.
the UN is paying for their
So those details were not released. I honestly
what else
don't
is
know
new?
how that process works, but I know every country signs on to different treaties. When you join certain organizations, like with CARICOM is a treaty of Chagaramas, with the UN it's whatever the treaty is called. I'm sorry, I don't have that information in my head. But if they're going to be claiming asylum status and it's gone to the UN, then I'm sure there's certain protocols that they have to follow. I know that they've been taken out of the detention center and they're in an apartment, because this is information I just pulled from the news source. But in terms of who's footing the bill and all of that, I'm not sure how it works.
Let's take this call. Island T, you're on. Okay. Island T, you're on. Hello, Island T.
Hello?
Hello.
Uh-oh.
I guess they weren't hearing us.
Yeah, they're probably not hearing.
Yeah.
Of who's footing the bill.
Okay.
Hello?
So, yeah. So, the impression I got from, maybe I'm wrong, but the impression I got from the news item about the Cameroonian issue is that the UNHCR might be paying for their
Really?
in the interim. That was just reading between the lines, but I could be wrong. Maybe
I'm not sure how that works. I guess it would mean that I'd have to do a little bit more investigation, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that works.
So so now we have two whole sets of foreigners to police.
Yeah, and one of the things I noted that they said at the bottom of the article, and it's something that the AG and the Prime Minister have been speaking about, is that we need to revise, amend, and tighten our legislation where illegal entry and border protection and smuggling and illegal immigrants and all of that is concerned. Because one of the things I know Dr. Drew has said is that he doesn't want persons to think that it's like a walk in the park, basically, is that it's easy to just come in here via smuggling or illegal entry or whatever you want to call it, and then just feel that you'll get a slap on the wrist and it'll be okay.
I mean, we're coming across like the USA
He's been saying
right
that
now.
since the
Like
Cameroonians entered, because granted, what happened with them is that the boat overturned, so it was an accident, it was a disaster. And so in the spirit of goodwill and good Samaritan and all of that, they rescued them, and now we end up caught up in the middle of a firestorm.
Yeah.
Because they were introduced into the region by the Prime Minister of Antigua. So one of the things that honestly rubbed me the wrong way was when he threw a tantrum and he's like, I'm not taking them back. Like, excuse me, sir?
Gangston Brown.
You know, and then
Man.
here we are now.
Wow.
It's never ending.
Yeah. Mr. Impunity, Gangston Brown. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so let's see what plays out with that.
So
I find their requests are a little bit insane.
Yeah.
Because the things that they're requesting are not things that we have any control over.
You're badge into our country.
They want to go to Texas to their relatives.
Yeah.
They want a UN ID. Like, excuse
So guys,
me.
I got some more,
Yeah.
clarification during the break, because the real issues they're not out to the public like the cases,
Right,
you
right.
know, and
Do you want to release them now
Yeah.
as in
Okay,
a prep
how about we
before
do
our
this?
9 o'clock?
Let's
or-
take the 8:30 break
Yeah,
and we come back.
and
we-
where's
we
our
get it,
8:30?
yeah. It's 8:29, but it just turned to 8:30. So here we go. Okay.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Riddle this, riddle that. Horseman's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store is again giving away hundreds of thousands of dollars in cashback for free groceries with every hire purchase. Will be given back this coupon season. Happening now. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in cashback coupon to all our hire purchase customers this coupon season. Starting now until December 2023. You get absolutely free groceries with every hire purchase at our Horseman's Furniture and Appliances stores on St. Kitts Nevis and our Ashley Home Store on St. Kitts. So riddle this. Where can you get quality furniture and appliances at great prices with a flexible FlexPlay plan and with absolutely free groceries with every hire purchase? Riddle that. Cashback at Horseman's Furniture and Appliances on St. Kitts Nevis and our Ashley Home Store on St. Kitts. Riddle this, riddle that. Horseman's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store is giving you over $250,000 in cashback and a chance to win free groceries for a year. Riddle that cashback. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Eight 32, and we're back. Back with Kermit the Frog,
Yeah.
noted newscaster and Candy Face.
So at the point now, Jamster. So just to get more clarification.
Yeah, go ahead.
So based on the facts, the argument was a 6 months there, but they got here illegally. Based on our immigration laws, if you get here illegally, we have the right to send you back to the country of origin. That was the injunction. Well, Mr. Tuckett placed the injunction in the ex-party to saying that they have a right to the 6 months there. That was discontinued after the government agreed that they will have asylum hearings instead. Based on what transpired, the PM went to the meeting with Kamala, and you remember we read the article
Right. Yeah.
about the
Yeah.
situation in Haiti.
Yeah.
You understand?
And we all know what's been happening
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
If they lost the asylum hearing, they would be forced to go back to Haiti in those conditions. If they won, they would be here. So, and again, yesterday in the parliament, the PM said that based on the situation in Haiti and on what's going on, and based on his meeting with Kamala last week, the government decided to just release them. So the government really forfeited the opportunity to have the asylum hearing and just said we're going to release them back to their local community here because of the situation in Haiti. So the turning point wasn't a 6 month stay. because the injunction was discontinued on that matter. And then the asylum hearing was to be heard, but it was never heard in the end because government just decided, based on the conditions in Haiti, to just release them.
It's going to be an interesting morning.
Yeah.
And
Mr. Powell, good morning. Welcome to Island Tea.
Good morning. And how are you?
Good morning. I'm fine, thank you. Always a pleasure to be here.
Great, great.
First time with this particular team.
Yes. But the tea is still hot.
I'm going to say particular tea.
Yeah. The tea is still hot and it's still brewing.
Well, I don't know because I didn't get a mug. So
Well, we have mugs.
Didn't say anything had to be in them, but yeah, you can have a mug.
Yes.
So tell us, to what do we owe this pleasure?
well, my good friend Azard has been behind me to come on the show and have a
Yes.
chat. So we've finally been able to get that done.
Schedules now.
And so I'm here.
Yes.
I'm here.
Yes. I mean,
I see.
Let's
hear.
General Powell was the last, before Marsha Henderson got the seat, General was the MP
I live
for
in
that
two.
constituency.
I live in two,
you
so
know.
I know the list of all my constituency
Yes.
holders, or reps, I should
Yes,
say.
he was also
So, yeah.
the former chairman. He's the former chairman of the People's Action Movement and the current deputy political leader of the People's Action Movement.
So you basically took Jonah's position? That's what's happening here?
Nah,
I'm teasing, I'm
General,
teasing
General
you.
just wanted something different, didn't you?
Give him a door.
Exactly. So how has it been so far? I know you guys had elections, and I didn't even know you've held this position before.
I have actually.
A PAM person, and I were having a conversation, and I was like, well, there's been some movement. He goes, no. And I'm like, oh gosh, I don't even know the PAM history. Let me just back up a bit. It's like, no, John Hill has had this position before, so.
Yeah, I did have that position before, and took the decision to run, and successfully did so for as chairman of the party. A position I held for, I think, something like about 7 years,
Oh, wow.
something like that. And just thought, two things really. I don't believe that the chairman of the party should be a candidate. I think the chairman should accept the administrative responsibilities of the party, as outlined in the constitution, the party's constitution, and allow candidates to focus on the politics and the
Right.
constituencies. And
You
so
have
that
your work
was
cut
and so that was one of the reasons. And then the other one was, having held that position for some time, thought it's time for some new blood, to get new ideas. I still maintain my belief in term limits. And although there's no specific term limit, I just thought, I think it's time for somebody else to come in now and
Shake up.
especially as the party has committed itself to go through a certain reformation at this point in time. I think it's good to switch up key roles like that.
All right, then. Well, good luck in this position with a new, I'm guessing, mandate. So, as I pointed out, that you are constituency rep for your party, and you've been in that position for quite some time. What are your thoughts on what's happening? I mean, when the current constituency rep gave a speech, was it last week? Was it the week before?
think
In
last
relation
week.
to the crime.
Last week.
She herself mentioned that most of it was happening in Central Bastille. So what are your thoughts and feelings on that?
It's disheartening, not just because it's in Central Bastille, but because we're experiencing this in a small country like ours. But yeah, it does sort of hit home because it is Central Bastille, because of the fact, for me, all of the murders in Central Bastille, I know all of these people. These are people I know, people I interact with, on a fairly regular basis. OJ had a conversation with him about playing golf the weekend before. Baller, which was the last one, Vaughn Paris. I spoke with him an hour before he was shot, just yards away from Dorset Park.
Good grief.
So it really is hitting home, and so it's unfortunate to see not just is happening in the country, but in a community to which I'm very closely aligned. And a lot, it's senseless.
Yeah.
It's senseless
All
killing.
of them in a central area
Yeah.
type of, because the two before, the woman and the young boy, was on Old Rectory Road.
Correct.
And then the last guy was like the street before.
Yeah,
Rectory
2
Road.
streets home, but
Right? So, yeah.
yeah.
And
And
I live not too far from that area, so I definitely
Yeah.
am concerned. I knew the woman, seen her pass by my house a couple of times. I know her daughters. So,
yeah, and just walking through, and well, Azard joined Sean Richards and I on Saturday walking through that constituency, and
what was the
Mat
general
night
sense?
places like that is like a ghost town. People are free to come out, and as one set of guys down at Pickup Alley said, they said, "Boy, this reminds us of COVID. We just come out for a couple of minutes to get some fresh air, and then we head back inside."
Oh my goodness.
People ought not have to live like that in St. Kitts and Nevis, and that's the bigger point. I don't think there's any specific person to blame for this. It's not the government, it's not the Prime Minister, not the opposition. It is I think, a mentality that has been bred into the minds of some that we've allowed to foster certain bad habits that now empower them or make them feel empowered to be able to just take justice in their hands and say, well, I have an issue with this person and I can take him out. And, these are brazen acts in high daylight.
It is. The last one is like 5 minutes before the Prime Minister
Yes.
was supposed to address the country. It's crazy.
Right. And so, the
Do
people
you
are uneasy.
feel- Do you feel like there's something that we or you or maybe your party can do? Because I know you guys did a walkthrough. I saw the pictures. I gave Azard a full speech about the photos.
I don't want to hear that.
Because I think you were the only one that was dressed appropriately.
What's appropriate?
You didn't have your uniform on.
Oh, I know what she meant.
So but do you feel like, having done the walkthrough, do you feel like there's something that you can bring to the table? Maybe, let's say, have a chit chat with the government, with the community, with the church, the bar association, somebody. Let's come together and.
Absolutely. I don't personally claim to have the answer to it, but I do think we all have a role to play. As a major political party in the country, PAM has a role to play. We've been in government multiple times before. We've had to deal with crime issues, so we do have some experience. We have thoughts and ideas in terms of strategies that may help in terms of the fight. Me personally, I'm a lawyer by profession. 15 years called this year, and getting old.
didn't say
Former
it.
parliamentary representative for number 2. I grew up there. I think I have some kind of experience, in terms of being able to even reach out to people. But I think generally we as a community need to get up. It's time to stop waiting on the politicians. It's
Yes.
time to start waiting on the government, although they do have a role to play. At the end of the day, these things are happening not in government headquarters, they're happening in our communities. And we see things and we pretend like we don't see them, and this is my friend or my relative or whatever the relation is, and try to protect them when I know they're doing wrong.
Right.
And then when the retaliation comes, is another story. You hear the weeping and the wailing. So I think as a community, we need to get up and start putting pressure back on the criminal elements that have been putting pressure on us. Because there's so much more crime that's not being spoken about, the extortion that's happening in certain neighborhoods, petty theft and other things. And we know who these people are. But it's going to require the community to really come forward and provide the assistance to the authorities in order for us to curb this.
So there's been a breakdown, basically.
That's an interesting point, because the murders are overshadowing all the other crimes, which are crimes nonetheless. But we're so fixated on the murders that we're forgetting, like, to Jonel's point, the stealing and all the other
It's
stuff
still
that's
very
going
much
on.
happening.
And we know that in many instances, it's some of the smaller crimes that escalate to murders.
Exactly. Which actually leads me to a point I wanted to make with you. I didn't get to make it after he left, about this thing that Rudy Giuliani used to do back in the day. He had this approach to crime when he was the Attorney General, called the broken windows. Yeah, broken clock right twice a day. No, he had this thing. He had this thing he used with law enforcement called the broken windows concept, where every little thing they come down on you like a ton of bricks. Not necessarily that they're going to be unfair, but the thing is, like,
nip it in the bud.
yeah, exactly. So that the bigger things, so that it doesn't turn into
Doesn't
bigger
escalate.
things.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And I kind of feel like maybe some of that needs to happen with the cops, because you know how I talk about, for example, sometimes I'm driving. I was telling the story. I'm driving home, forgot to turn on my headlights, going up Wellington Road. Cops are coming down there by the benches. They pass me. It's when they start to pass. I say, "Oh God, my headlights are on." They just pass me like nothing happened.
Right.
And my thing is, I'm not saying come down on me like a ton of bricks, but you could have just stopped and said, "Oh, your headlights off."
Yeah.
Or flash
Right?
you.
Or flash me or something.
Yeah.
So don't see stuff and not say anything, because sadly I think a lot of the cops treat the
It
job
grows.
like just a job.
Yeah, it grows.
You know?
And that's absolutely true, because the young man that passed, he was supposed to be in school. He dropped out of school, and every time I would see him pass by my area when it's during school hours, I'd be like, what happened to truancy officers? What happened to his parents? Nobody's not going to say anything? Right? And then I would see him a couple times. I actually saw him smoking, and I'm like, why aren't you in school? And I don't want to necessarily pass judgment, but had he been in school...
But you know, we reach a place where we're even second guessing ourselves in doing the right thing, because and we've departed from it takes a village maxim.
To John L's point, there's been a breakdown in community. There's been a breakdown.
And I think Candy put it nicely in that you're seeing a breakdown, a general breakdown in society, and so as parents and family members, we've let them down. From an institutional standpoint, truancy officers and other government agencies, they've let them know to an extent. And everybody's had a role to play in this somehow, and that's why I think we all need to have a role in terms of fixing it. But and there are people out there who are trying. I mean, I was happy to at least hear that 2 persons have been arrested and charged for the last 2 murders, and so I commend the police force on acting so swiftly. We wish that were the case in every instance, but at least something is better than nothing. At least there's some sense of justice in that respect.
Right, and I heard there's patrolling. Like my sister told me yesterday that the Defense Force was patrolling my area again. I saw them myself on Saturday. Actually, when I saw them, I was like, "Oh God, what happened now?" But then they were just patrolling.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned it yesterday.
We have to. We're seeing some sort of movement. Something has been beefing up, but at the end of the day, if, like you said, we know what's happening and we're hiding it, then it's going to be an exercise in futility. We kind of have to start at ground level.
Yeah, and patrolling just for the sake of patrolling doesn't help unless they have the intel behind it. Yeah. So I hope that is the case.
We have a call.
You want to take some calls?
Sure.
Island T, you're on.
Morning.
Hey, morning.
Morning.
Why are we sounding like a broken record? We've been down this road already. The solution to the crime is to get rid of the Labour Party out of the office, That's the solution to the crime. I mean, I could recall this thing is go way back. It just started. I could recall that the People's Action Movement had presented to the then Douglas government a 16-point plan on crime. That was way back, maybe like 2009 or 13, somewhere in the area there. This thing, what we're doing now, we see this play out already. And who knows that it's going to happen again. We policing up, patrolling, stop, quiet down, start up again. You see, The thing is with this crime thing, the Labour Party had glorified the gangsters. They had glorified the gangsters when they had rioting in Bastille. They called them brave warriors. They actually went on to tell the gangsters if they get themselves in trouble, they will provide lawyers for them. So to get rid of crime, the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis got to take a serious look at the way they vote. Crime and the Labour Party goes together. The schools were burned. You could imagine that. People were terrorized in the country. So to get rid of crime, we have to get rid of a Labour Party. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you for your contribution, Carla.
Interesting concept.
Mm-hmm.
I am not sure that I agree that it's only politics. I know that yes, politics does play a role in it. Let's be honest. But would changing and putting in a new government be the only solution?
I don't think it's the only solution, but I think part of the frustration that people have is that, again, while the politicians and the government may not be responsible for crime, they are responsible for dealing with crime.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, well, we have 3 lawyers in here. And so we know the old adage that justice must not just be done, but seen to be done. Mm-hmm. And I think the current government has failed in giving that reassurance or even perception that the crime situation has been taken seriously, partly because, for example, the Prime Minister taking as long as he did to come out and speak out or even say anything about it, for example.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take another call. Yeah. Okay. On to the next. Island T, you're on.
Good morning, folks.
Good
morning. How are
you?
Yes, I wonder if all of us are on the same page, and when I say all of us, I mean whole of society, including the parties, because what it seems like is there's an attempt to sanitize the so-called peace program in terms of suggesting that there was method to madness, so to speak, because nobody agrees that paying people for peace is the right approach. But at the same time, nobody seemed to know exactly what this peace initiative entailed. Okay, there's no proper. There seems to be no proper documentation as to what exactly it is. So, and some of the politicians themselves who were in the party, in the ruling parties last time, expressed some sort of ignorance as to what exactly the program was about. So what I want to know from Mr. Powell, as somebody who was involved in the sense of being in charge then, exactly what it entailed, and if he thought that the program was okay as was, or did you think it needed refinement so that going forward we'd know exactly what we have, what we're dealing with, and what we should be doing, what interventions should be taking place to help solve the problem? That's the question.
Thank you, caller, for that question. My quick answer to that is I agreed with the peace program in principle. However, I thought that the manipulation of that program made it unsustainable. I think it was more than just, okay, we can pay these people not to misbehave. Work programs and other attachments had been put in place. I think that the ball was dropped insofar as not collecting a lot of data and intelligence that could be used on even a short to medium term basis, maybe long term, in terms of who was doing what and just information coming out from persons who were involved. And again, that program became politicized, unfortunately, and it went from really living out its potential to create long-term training and reformation for who were considered to be gang members to just a political tool to put monies in people's pockets, and in some instances even create dons in certain communities. That was not what it was intended to be. And so, I think it was even recently the present commissioner of police made a statement about not having information being collected from the peace program. And, so I think we had a good opportunity with that program to do a lot of things and collect information and really reform a lot of these persons. But the program was manipulated, unfortunately. And, I think there's still, the Prime Minister said it's not been ended.
Right.
And so I look forward to hearing from him, well, he's the Minister of National Security, so from him, about the plans and the changes and reformations to the program to really make it a sustainable program, not so much about paying people not to misbehave, but creating an alternative for persons who tend to misbehave.
Right. So you think that if there's some sort of reformation process that it could still work?
I think so. I mean, I know it's been controversial, but the numbers don't lie. The crime statistics did decrease significantly while that program was in operation.
And properly functioning.
Well, I don't know properly functioning.
When it was operational.
Because I don't understand how that program could be taken and run out of Development Bank. So I don't know about properly functioning. But the fact of the matter is, while it was operational, the statistics don't lie. They are consistent with a significant decrease in crime. My concern was the sustainability of it, and if we could add that sustainable element to it. And when I say that, I don't mean like this step has become and you have people on this program getting paid for 15 years, but true reformation and transformation of these persons and really empowering them to take an alternative path.
So I have to ask, the very first caller we had said that all of this is the Labour government's fault. Do you think that if your party got into power, you guys could clean this up, fix this?
I know we would take a much stronger stance on crime. I know that we would at least give persons hope, the feeling that, look, we're taking it serious and something is happening. We're not seeing that now, and that is why we have been critical of the administration thus far. And that's why I've personally been critical, because we're not feeling them. We're not feeling the Minister of National Security and the Prime Minister. 25 murders under your watch, 16 for the year, 4 in 24 hours, and we wait for an hour and a half, a 6-minute speech, which passed the buck on to the police, or the police are going to have a press conference tomorrow. I don't think that left people or people of the country feeling, look, boy, yeah, the Prime Minister is going to do something, the government is going to do something. It just left us wanting for more information and more action. And so I think that we would definitely be able to bring that sort of feeling to the people of this country, as well as the action behind it and engaging. And look, you got to engage everybody.
I'm glad you said that, because
You
that
have
was going
to
to be my
engage
next
everybody.
question. Are you open to sitting down with them and working with them? So that
I am
we can-
more than happy to do that, because, like I said, look, crime doesn't affect Pam or Labour, it affects all of us. Like I said, all of these murders in the Central Bass area, I knew these people personally. So I don't want to see anybody, much, but especially persons that I know, being subject to murders going forward. We really need to curb this.
Before you go, I have a question.
Want to take a
Somebody
quick call
message.
before he leaves. You got 2
1
minutes.
second. Somebody says, you said the peace program was manipulated. Can you ask by who? I'm not sure if you want to.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it was manipulated by the persons who were responsible for operating it. The fact that a peace program, which was set up by the government, was being operated out of the Development Bank shows the inconsistency with what it was meant to do and where it was being administered from. Why was that not under the auspices of the Ministry of National Security? That in itself shows that something was wrong in how it was being operated. Obviously, somebody want me to say something
I know.
specific,
but we all know that it was
I'm not
somewhat
trying to get
convoluted.
into because that's behind us. But at least we know what happened and how we can maybe adjust a program such as that to benefit us going forward.
I mean, last week I had a conversation with someone who was close to the program, and they did indicate that when the program started, it started as a genuine program to assist persons with income, because we realized that the persons who were involved, they wanted peace. And a lot of the problems were the issue with the income.
Right.
And the program was going along well, and as Janelle indicated, to support the same thing that the person said, it was when the politics got involved.
Right.
And the person pointed out the PLP faction got involved and politicized that whole arrangement, that it went downhill.
Yeah, and it's amazing. I've heard over the years a lot of people taking credit for the peace program. That program came out of efforts coming from the participants themselves. That came from them in the street saying, hey, this thing ain't making no sense. I can't, we gotta change this. That was where it came from. It wasn't top down, it was bottom up. And, I said that because I was around, because I'm not claiming that I created it, but I was around to see what was happening at the point in time. And so, it's unfortunate how it turned out, but there's still hope. There's still hope for that. There's still hope for us. There's still hope for St. Kitts and Nevis. And
John,
I believe that.
Last question. As far as we know, is Mr. Saunders still in place? The National Security, the Director of National Security. Or was it advisor? How's it called?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
I've not seen him featuring in lately, even in consideration of the crime increase.
There's the rub, which is what I'm trying to get to the bottom of. If he's in place and he's not being used because he was put in place by another party, which is why I asked.
Well, I'm glad you raised that, because that's one of the problems that we see in here. Typical of the Labour administration and those of the past. We've seen too much of a new administration coming in and just changing everything. There's not much of a transition. You just see them come in and, okay, well, Unity had this or the last administration. Okay, we're going to shift these people, we're going to move those people, we're going to stop this program, we're going to suspend this program, we're going to change this committee. And then what happens? You don't have that necessary transitional period, that sharing of information, so that when things come up, the new team is not properly equipped to deal with it. I mean, just look at our music festival.
I want to say everybody's guilty of this political antics. It's insane. You come in, you don't do transition, you don't do examination, you just figure, I need loyal people, I need people who are going to be having my back, I need yes men, yes.
But the thing is, you have the ultimate societal dysfunction happening where people getting killed every few days. And if indeed that the National Security Advisor is still in place, we should be having all hands on deck. He should be a part of he should be a part of whatever apparatus they're setting up to mitigate against the crime.
Even in the discussion that I had with that individual who was a part or close to the program, they said that after August, no consultation was done with the persons who were previously with the committee. The stipend was discontinued, and just the payment was just continued. And I guess, as you see with the PM, he said that it was reformed, and you see that there was statements saying new persons come in, but new persons come into a program without prior consultation as to what was going on. What does that do? You reinventing a wheel that you could have just used.
Correct.
Exactly.
Oh boy, we definitely need it. I'm hoping that they reach out and that you guys are open to working together, because the country, the nation, the citizens, we all need it. More specifically, Central Bastille, I would like it to relax, get back to a place of
Yes,
calm.
we're listening to the constituents.
Thank you. But thank you so much for coming in today and sharing with us insights and, I guess, history to some effect.
Well, it's always my pleasure. You know, I listen all the time. I tease you and Azard sometimes.
And clearly, John is accustomed to disgusting Dorset and Shadwell people, right? Like
Finish the thought.
I can
Yes,
I
talk
can
back
never
about
refer
yourself.
to my constituents like
Thank
that.
you, John. Speak for yourself. I happen to be a nice, upstanding citizen.
Jamsa is in constituency one, isn't it?
And he's, you know, look at
But
what
I'm
he's
from
doing.
too.
He's from
you're
Greenland.
too.
Yeah.
This is probably
And
why we
Dorset.
put you out.
And
That whole
yeah.
area, yeah.
Is this kind of rhetoric why we had to let you move? Thank you so much for coming in today.
No, it's always a pleasure.
Thank
I'm happy
you.
to be here and keep up the good work.
No problem.
Definitely.
We'll
See you
definitely
again
invite
soon.
you back soon.
Well,
Yes.
you know to get me.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll take a
Have
short
good one
break.
today.
Okay, good. 5 minutes after 9 o'clock. Island Tea continues.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Music's finest artists converge in Bastille from June 22nd to June 24th for the 25th hosting of the St. Kitts Music Festival. Hitting the festival main stage will be Skillibeng, Chronix, Coffee, Byron Messiah, Anthony B, Governor, Romaine Virgo, TJ, Valiant. Them boy don't got nobody. Grandmasters, Collision Band, Small X Band, New Vibes Band International, Mr. Bagdal, Akayu Sweet, Preedy, Guess the Band, Ricardo Drew, Patrice Roberts, Skinny Fabulous, Nyla Blackman, Status. Erica Edwards, 313 Family, Gramps Morgan, Nitra B, Ear Supply, Dexter Daps, and Burner Boy. It's the 25th edition of the St. Kitts Music Festival from June 22nd to June 24th at Warner Park. An experience like no other. Tickets are now available at stkittsmusicfestival.com.
Give your car some TLC with CNC Auto Services Limited, located on the Bay Road Industrial Park, Bastille. We're your local agents for genuine Honda parts. Plus, we've got some sweet deals happening right now on suspension and brake parts, ignition coils, coolants, oils, and filters with tires priced at $188. We've also got car batteries at the crazy low price of $345. So don't wait until your car is in dire need. Stop at CNC Auto Services and Honda today. Telephone 465-9317. For some speedy service and some unbeatable prices, your ride will thank you.
It's 10 minutes after 9 o'clock. Island Tea continues. And if you've been listening to WinFM News, WinFMMediaSKN.com, hopefully you go there to read your news. You would have seen the story about the Haitian refugee crisis and so on. Well, we've got the lawyer who tackled that case in studio, Mr. Craig Tuckett.
Yes.
Good
Based
morning
on
and
just
welcome back.
welcome back. So based on some let's go back to the history, we get the facts so we could know what we're going from. So I got some facts this morning as to the case. Apparently 14 Haitians paid a boat captain in Dominica. So 14 Haitians paid a boat captain in Dominica to smuggle them in to St. Martin.
No, wrong word.
The captain was Dominican.
I was hoping Craig would give the facts, but you give yours and we'll have.
They had engine.
Wrong word.
They had engine trouble off Nevis, and the captain plus one came into Nevis. They were spotted and everyone detained in Nevis. Captain was convicted of smuggling. Is that true or not?
Go ahead. I listen to you.
Give your facts and then we'll let give his facts, because obviously y'all have different facts.
Thank you. Oh.
So I want to hear both sides.
Because he initiated that the smuggling was not correct.
Wrong word.
But if he said that is wrong word, then it means that the conviction, was he not convicted of it?
Go ahead.
Okay, so perhaps. Okay.
So should we let Craig?
No.
introduce?
All
Okay.
I'm saying,
All right.
if Craig is saying it is a wrong word, then why was he convicted for that wrong word by a
Right.
court?
Go ahead.
Right.
We can come to
Okay.
it.
So he didn't deny that he was convicted of smuggling. So the
It's being appealed.
Okay. So 14 Haitians, including one pregnant and 2 minors, were detained and were to be returned to Haiti. Mr. Tuckett
No, that's not true, but go ahead.
got an ex parte injunction to prevent return. Government agreed to provide them with asylum hearings, so the judge discontinued the injunction. The PM said yesterday at Parliament that the situation in Haiti has gotten worse, and the president of Haiti confirmed this at CARICOM Heads of Government meeting with Kamala last week. So government decided to release them to be taken care by local Haitian community on compassionate grounds. The other option for government is to return to the original home or the last home from the immigration perspective. If the asylum request fail, they could never get asylum given that they have lived in Dominica for years prior. What do you say What do you say to these facts, counsel?
Well, first, good
All right.
morning to you, beautiful lady.
Thank you. Welcome.
I know Azard. And I have here with me a person who is representing the Haitian community in St. Kitts and Nevis. And it's important to know that the Haitian community are nationals of Haiti, but also citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. So first again, it's a pleasure to be here in WinFM studios. And also to enlighten and to educate the good people of St. Kitts and Nevis and the wider Caribbean who listen in. So
Perfect.
I would like to find out, if those facts were given to him by the state, but I don't know where he would have gotten those nuances. But let me give you my
Awesome.
take, seeing that I was
Perfect.
actually involved.
Right.
Tell us.
So you had a situation where 14 CARICOM nationals of Haiti, of the Republic of Haiti, along with a captain of a boat. Prior to leaving Dominica, they lived in Dominica for 2 years, worked, everything.
Okay.
The Dominican government and state is a little bit more loving and caring for the good people of Haiti, because they have a policy whereby they accept the brothers and sisters from Haiti if they arrive, and they allow them to be a part of the society because they are CARICOM nationals. Now, I'm going to give some background to the whole issue of CARICOM nationals, because persons like to use that whenever it suits them, but become very discriminatory when it comes to our brothers and sisters from
So
Haiti.
you said if they arrive, does it mean by any means that they arrive?
But
or
by any
if
means,
they
by
arrive?
any means.
But Craig,
By any,
Craig
I didn't finish. So
wait.
that's actually to protect
But Craig,
This is
let
what we're doing
no. But in all honesty, the issue was, and we don't need to go through the point. The issue was of contention was not the fact that they entered the state; it was the fact that they entered the state illegally.
So I'm coming back to my giving of the facts.
Yeah.
So they left Dominica to go on a trip to St. Martin. Now, everybody knows it's cheaper to go by boat anywhere. For instance, I was looking to go to Statia and also Anguilla. You know, there's a ferry that they have down that is basically $500 easy. Return trip. But to go on Liat or Winnia, it's $500 US one way. So everybody knows economics, and so they decided to pay a boat, right?
Okay.
On their route to St. Martin, the boat encountered some problems, right? This is facts. It is noted that in international law, whenever a boat is in distress or having problems on the high seas or in any seas, they are allowed to enter into any port or any jurisdictional waters and be exempt from any fallout in terms of the immigration law and the customs law.
Right, so he would have sent out distress calls.
Well, the problem with that is he of himself, the boat, did not have the requisite radio, right? The problem was that they seemingly had a problem with it. So that's what I was told, right? I myself went on the boat and I realized that there was an issue with it. But that's not the issue.
So no distress call was given out?
Even without a distress call or not. There has been many cases that were adjudicated by various courts, the Privy Council, the Court of Appeal, even the High Court of the OASIS, Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court. And so whenever a person or a crew with passengers, for even moral issues, they can claim distress. Now, the important point about this situation, and again, I cannot speak to the case, right? I'm only stating to the facts that everybody knows, right?
Right.
Is in the public.
Right, because I got some of it from his article.
Right, so I don't expect the court to chastise me. When they had that issue, you had 14 brothers and sisters, CARICOM nationals from Haiti, along with the Dominican captain. Only the Dominican captain, along with a Haitian CARICOM national, who happens to be a mechanic, came on shore using the dinghy. So the boat stayed out into the seas, into the waters, in an area that is known to be a recognized port in Nevis.
Gallows, something.
Thank you. You see, when white people come with their boat, it's okay. And they dock, they don't get no problem. They could stay there, dock, and then they could process them the next day now, 24 hours. That was even said in the magistrate court. When now they came on the shores, they were, I wouldn't say accosted, that's maybe a harsh word, but they were intercepted by state entities. They were questioned, the captain and also the mechanic, who is a CARICOM national from the Republic of Haiti, a member state of CARICOM since 2002, explained to them the situation. The state authorities went out on a boat to see the brothers of Haiti, brothers and sisters. There were 13 left, of course. They recognized the situation, and then they took them ashore and detained them. Bearing in mind that they stayed on the boat. So a person will have to question the circumstances. Why would they stay on the boat if they were really coming to St. Kitts? As they say in human smuggling. Anyway, they were detained up until Saturday last for 127 days. Yeah. Now let me address the facts that were stated by my learned senior. There was no, and even up to date, there was no deportation order given to any one of them. They were not convicted for any crime. And so we see now.
So the reason behind the detention was?
That's the question, and that's what the court will have to determine. That is the question.
So based on the information that I was getting, there was supposed to be an asylum hearing.
Right, so let me address your facts. So being the fact that I have also interacted with brothers and sisters from Haiti before, there was another situation that occurred in January, right? And I interacted. But at that time, I wasn't able to do what I did now. So for persons who are concerned, is not because of politics this is happening. It's because I'm a Pan-Africanist, I'm a regionalist, and I'm also a nationalist. But I am more so a Pan-Africanist more than a nationalist because I see all of my people, wherever they are, of my same color and skin, especially knowing the history. And if people really are conscious, as they say, they will know the importance of Haiti in the whole. Anyway, moving forward. So, Haiti, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, moving on. So the point is, when I came to the realization that it is very highly possible that they would try to deport them, I moved the court with an ex parte injunction. The court heard it. They granted it for about a week and a half. Then the court, in person, heard myself along with my learned senior, the Solicitor General, on the matter. The state gave an undertaking that they would have the hearing or the application for the asylum done. Okay. Because that was a part of my injunction. They said they would have it done in 6 weeks. 6 weeks gone, 3 months come.
Wow.
Yeah. So that is just to answer your question and your right.
So is it based on my information?
Yes.
The state determined yesterday through when the Prime Minister gave his when he made the announcement in Parliament, that the Haitians were released, and based on his meeting with Kamala last week with the other heads of government and recognizing the situation in Haiti, it would be that basically he didn't want to have them return to a situation like that.
That's strange because I put all of that in my injunction submission and also in my claim on behalf of them submission since in March. But anyway, moving on from that. I said that to say, it's unfortunate that the state will take that position because CARICOM, not only by the Treaty of Chagaramas and then the revised Treaty of Chagaramas, which the CCJ, the Caribbean Court of Justice, is the court that deals with the interpretation of the original, in terms of the original jurisdiction of the same said treaty, adjudicated on a similar matter in 2013 in regards to Shanique Mairi. Right. So, and it's also important to note. But it's also important to note. It's also important to note that. Sorry. Another important note is that Haiti has been a full-fledged member of CARICOM since 2002.
But
and go ahead,
Craig. Wouldn't you say the Shanique Mairi case is under different circumstances because Shanique Mairi was a situation where she came to Barbados, and you
on
know,
a plane.
This is, to me, Shanique Mairi was the 6 months there. You know, when that was determined that once you're not a burden to the state, once you're not going to be, you know,
that part of burden is not in the
financial burden
is not in the judgment. It's not in the judgment.
Once
you land as a CARICOM national. They can't even question whether you is a criminal or not. They will do that after. Once you land and you have your passport or any traveling documents, 6 months. Anything thereafter is addressed after.
But so my question is, and I'm taking this from as much of a layman standpoint as I can.
Yes.
They wanted to go to St. Martin.
Yes.
The boat broke down.
Yes.
They unfortunately had to stop. They pulled over in Nevis.
Yes.
Why do they now need to be here and have their fellow persons take care of them? Why wasn't it that they were processed, the boat repaired, and they went on to St. Martin?
Very good question. And that's what they wanted. But the state decided to detain them.
So the reason that they're still here is because they're being detained by the state?
Well, now they're free.
Now they're free. Are they still going to remain here, or are they going to go back to their original plan and go to St. Martin?
Well, that's a decision that they will have to make, which is the freedom of choice that we all have, not only.
So why was the 6 month request put forward then?
Because they're nationals, they're citizens of a CARICOM member state, and that is their right. Once you, as a Guyanese or Kittians or Antiguan or Jamaica, once you land in any other member state, with bam, whether it's by boat, whether it's by plane, let's say you decide to swim and all. But once you land, you, of course, you present. But the point I'm making is that same Gallows Bay, when you have white persons with big boats enter, right? Then they let them stay for 24 hours before they process.
Don't they usually
They don't even
send
come
out
in. Hello, that's a strange. They don't even send necessarily, as I made to understand. I know they did some
So they
research.
don't send like a radio call saying we want a permission to dock.
Not all of them. No, they just come in.
roll up.
But that's a fact. But that's a fact. That I challenge anybody to dispute that. So the question is, what was the real meaning, or what was the real impetus behind this? Anyway, I want to go into that because that's talking into the thing, and that's what the court will have to adjudicate.
So you're saying, so the asylum, there was to be asylum hearing.
That's what was the undertaking.
Right.
That's the reason why the injunction was lifted.
Yes.
It has not happened.
Yes. So it has
So
not
it's
happened. But is it not the government's position now that there would be no asylum hearing and that because they have already been released?
Well, clearly they're not here. They don't have no deportation order. So I am saying, from my understanding of the law and understanding of the international law, the reason why they are here still is because they are CARICOM nationals and they are afforded the 6 months. It's just a matter of getting it stamped.
And because too, you would say that the government, because they will have still been detained if the hearing was supposed to still continue.
Well, I guess so. I don't know. I can't jump into conclusions.
But the fact that the Prime Minister made the statement yesterday and then had them released.
That's what I'm saying. That statement, unfortunately, to me, let's put it this way, because I don't want to be said that I said something that will bring down the government or the Prime Minister in any way. They are CARICOM nationals. People they're forgetting that. They're just looking at Haitians as just a country just drops in the middle of the Caribbean Sea and everybody else is CARICOM national except them. They must stop this mentality. They are CARICOM nationals with rights.
So the reason, when you initially took up this case, it was just because you felt like they were being discriminated?
All the time. All over St. Kitts, I would say all over the Caribbean, and I don't know why. But I understand why.
So it wasn't even
it's
for
wrong.
them to stay here. It was just, let's treat them correctly because they had a distress. They happened to, unfortunately, have to pull into Nevis, and they're being treated.
Thank you.
I'm asking, is that
Thank
why
you.
That's why you took it?
Thank you. And I will say this.
All right.
The Privy Council judge on a matter like this recently, I don't know how that is going to be the overcoming factor. Because we did this in the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court. Our final court.
Is the Privy Council?
The Privy Council dealt with this in Trinidad with a case. The same situation with Venezuelans coming over. The Venezuelans coming over. And there was a child and a mother. The same thing, they came by boat. They wasn't going to Trinidad to shop, They came by boat, as we all know the situation. They were held and detained for over 200 and something days. And the court ruled in their favor with compensation.
So you are looking at it for compensation now for the detainment?
I'm not. I don't want to jump into the case. I won't say anything in regards to that.
I understand.
I want to hear from your guests.
I understand.
Yes.
So you have been placed in the middle of this. What's your feelings? How do you feel about this? And is there a big Haitian community here?
Good morning, and thank you for inviting me. And sorry about the voice. It's been really challenging for those last 2 weeks. We're not a big community.
2 weeks or 127 days?
Oh my.
Go ahead.
We're not a big community. We really are a small one, about 175.
That's big.
And we've been quiet. We've been basically here and there because we come here to just such a better life. We're not into, I'm not coming into detail because I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a politician also, so we're not going there.
No, I want to hear it from your angle.
But since 2019, me personally, I'm dealing with the situation. And before we go into the details, I really want to thank the government.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, since 2019, there's been some kind of Haitian come in boat illegally because we have to call the cat when you see a cat. So,
I can't say illegally. Don't say illegally. Just say the boat's coming in.
So,
but let's be honest. Even if you're coming to a country, you must come to a country. You made the reference. We're not going based on your case because you're saying it was a distress. So based on your reference, you're saying it's a distress. But under normal circumstances, you must enter the country under the requirements of the country.
Yes, that's the way we have immigration law. But
okay.
there are but there are situations which allow, like as I said, by international law, not just by local law, no, international law, that once you are coming by boat and there's distress, even by plane, if the plane in the air could be a smuggling plane in the air, but they have distress, they could land.
But we all know the gravity of international law and local law. That international law, for it to be binding, because it's persuasive, domestic courts or the parliament must pass legislation to reflect that.
There's a difference when you have signed the treaty and you have assent to it.
They would have obligations state to state,
right?
But in terms of enforcement by the citizen, based on my understanding, it would need for that extra step in Parliament.
Well, thank God we have the principle of legitimate expectation that the court has to look into. And the fact in terms of this related situation in terms of CARICOM and the Vice Treaty of Sagaramas, of which we have signed and which we are members for many years, almost more than two decades. And we have a court that we have all agreed will adjudicate on that, which is the CCJ. This is a fait accompli.
I kind of just wanted to hear what the young man had to
yes,
say, but the two of you.
Sorry. Forgive
they
me.
cut you off, right? Yes.
No, he's all lawyer.
These two.
They're always debating.
But I have to protect also.
I don't practice, so I'm not going to go into that match with the two
when
of
I
them.
say illegally, I want to be clear.
Yeah, thank you.
It's because based on the CARICOM discrimination towards Haitian. So we don't have the same opportunities and the same treatment that the other CARICOM state. So basically, Haitian don't have the same free movement that the CARICOM. But it's more politics because it's due to the fact that back home in Haiti, they have a lot of insecurity, like instability is why the other states, as small they be, they don't have the capacity because we have to be honest on the end of the day. So is why basically I use the word illegally. But in terms of laws, so I'm not going into that. It's not my point. So for me to come back to my opinion, 14 Nation came 4 months ago, and
did you know any of them before?
No, because they have a stigma. They think that every Haitian know every Haitian, but it's not true.
I know.
What's the population of Haiti again?
10 million.
I don't understand what that is.
The same thing happens because Haiti is small and people think you know everybody.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
also they have another stigma also that since 2019, like I said, I'm dealing with it. Every time something like that happening, and you could see people, even on my own community, they think that is someone inside here in St. Kitts who responsible for that. No, that has been basically proved and investigation has been done. They have a network of people doing in Dominica.
So when you heard that this had happened, what was your first reaction?
The first reaction is help my brothers and sisters, because on the end of the day, I get the opportunity to be here, and thanks God, I could sustain myself. So and I know the reason for them to go anywhere is because they have to do free for the right that as a human being, because every human have the right to have a better life. And it's not different for them. So people have to understand, like anybody who go to another country, is not they want to do bad. Exactly. It's just they want to have a better life. And back home right now, unfortunately, we don't have that opportunities. So those person, young, really young, the oldest one is about 35, 39, around that. And they've been here, and they've been basically under government watch.
24/7.
And the last 2 or 3 weeks, there are certain, based on the advocacy, based on the follow-up that has been done, and things start to be moving, and thanks God, Saturday, they get released, and we're really grateful for that because
Yeah.
the only thing they was requesting is freedom.
Thank you.
Because they're ready to integrate the community, and since Saturday they has been integrated. And me personally, I was the one who helped them, like help the dispatching, in terms of to put in somewhere else, and actually they're in the community and try to see how they could contribute to St. Kitts society.
Yeah.
So my
And the heavens ain't fall down.
So, but
right?
Craig,
no earthquake.
what was the reason that they were going to St. Martin?
Right, so that was gonna be my question.
That's not our business.
So,
No.
no. They said they were going to. The news article said that they were going to St. Martin to shop. So
There it is.
the whole thing said they
Yeah.
were going to shop. So that makes me now ask the next question. Now that they are free and they supposedly, well, you can't go shopping without money. Why would they want to remain here?
No, stop.
Are they not going back to?
Don't answer that question.
Don't
answer that question.
I'm not answering your question, Mr. Greg, but the only thing I want to put forward is there have been really since Saturday. The main goal now is how to integrate the community, and some of them already put interest to join, like police and so. So they basically, for me, sometimes even though you have a goal, when life give you lemon, just do lemon with it. So they just basically they shift whatever goals it be.
That's a choice.
It's integrating in the community, and they have been basically.
What's their mental status like? And anybody can answer because they've been. You have like a perfect it down to maybe the hours and minutes even. You said what 127 days.
But before you even go into there, right? Because it now raises a lot of questions in my mind. Because
why should it?
No, because if you're going, I have nothing against our Haitian brothers and sisters. I'm just looking at a standpoint, and based on what you've said,
I hear you.
I'm looking at now.
I hear you.
So, you have a situation where you were living in Dominica.
That's
you were
correct.
living in Dominica for a number of years.
That's correct.
Your intention was to go to St. Martin to shop.
Yes.
You then decide, okay, it's cheaper to go via boat than plane to shop.
Yes.
So you now go on this boat. While you're making your passage, something happens.
Yes.
You're in distress.
Yes.
And now you are in St. Kitts because that's the closest port.
For 127 days.
Now you are saying that you're integrated into the community. You're now thinking about employment and stuff like that.
Yes.
But it's why there are some flags in my head. It's like,
what happened to the life you left in Dominica?
yeah, what happened to the
all
life?
your
And
stuff there?
for example, let's say you're going to the States and you're going there to shop, and
you decide to stay.
And something happens.
And you decide to stay.
Wait, and something happens, and you are detained in the U.S. for whatever reason, right? Now you're saying you decide to stay and you decide to make a life in the U.S.
Yes, of course. And we have a lot of Kittians and Caribbean people who have done that.
When your intention.
I see I can see where you're going with this.
Kind of
If I am leaving here,
don't say that.
I'm leaving here. Okay,
I won't accept
so
that word.
I will never ever discriminate. Let me start.
I'm
there.
not
As you rightly
discriminating.
pointed out.
Some people,
Lioness,
some people say they don't discriminate,
let
but
me
in their
lay the
words,
table.
they don't realize they're doing it.
Let me lay the table.
Craig,
I was
I'm
not
looking
born
at
here.
it.
I was not born here.
Yes.
I was born in Guyana.
Yes.
I moved here when I was 12.
Yes.
So I know how this whole discrimination thing goes
Of
because
course.
I faced bullying and whatever in school.
Thank you.
So that's not where this is going.
Well, I hope not.
It would never. My question is, I get up and I've been to St. Martin before to shop. I've been to Miami before to shop. Let's say something happens and for whatever reason, I have to stay a longer period there. My first thing would be, when can I go home? I want to go back. I am just here to shop. We had a little incident and I want to go home. So finally when the incident is resolved, so that's what I was asking the young man.
But that's you.
But Craig, let's look at it realistically.
Because
and
we gotta decide where we're gonna go with this. Is it that they got into distress, they got stuck there? I want to go back home. I was going to shop. My house, my land, my whatever is back there.
So you're saying that all
and
of
they
a
were
sudden,
detained for 127 days, which is
ridiculous.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is that I'm not looking at it via nationality. I'm not looking at it via. I'm looking at it based on the facts of the situation.
And I'm explaining to you.
You have a group of people here who
they decide to stay. That's it. Simple.
So
that's their choice. That's their right.
No,
yes,
it is.
But
We're not
so then what are we going
that.
over it for?
No,
again?
but I'm just saying.
Um,
It then makes a premise that they were going over to shop, and the whole facts that you talk about questionable.
Seems a little bit
Oh my
convoluted.
God. Okay, let me go to the point. Let's say they were truly just going to St. Martin for whatever reason, because that's the fact. That's what the captain said in court. That's what all them saying. They were going to St. Martin.
Okay.
So the fact is, whether they stop here or not, that wasn't the point. They wasn't going to stay here. But they stayed here and they were detained here. And so they decide, okay, you hold me for 127 days and you realize that there are certain things that are going to be ahead. Well, I can stay here until that is resolved. They have a matter in court, you know.
Okay.
They have a matter in court and they have their day in court. Don't forget that part.
No, but you didn't say it like that initially. You made it seem as though
I didn't say anything.
You made
I
it
didn't say
seem
anything.
the
I didn't say
perception
that. I'm trying to address it.
Okay, but the perception that was given is like, okay, we're now here. We're now going to make a life here, which I'm not saying anything wrong with that.
Thank
because
you.
they'll have to go through the necessary means.
They
and
got 6 months and then they got to apply for 6 months thereafter. That's a year.
Yeah. So I'm not questioning that aspect. It's just based on the initial reason, because if you're going for one place to do a particular thing and you realize there's some obstacles, you still to completely change your mind from the goal that you had in store. So many.
There's nothing wrong with that. Why are you questioning their mindset? Why do you think it's right for you, anyone, to question them? I could question your mindset why you went to court study law, or why you became a part of the People's Action Movement.
You could ask me a question and I could answer it.
Well, and I'm their lawyer, and I'm saying they have their right to change their mind if they want. Let me give you an example.
Everybody has a right to change their mind.
No, but let's not.
But
let's not.
It's not the change in mind. It is what is confusing for me is that one set of facts were presented to everyone.
There's only one set
to
of
the
facts.
article, to the article, to the court,
Yes.
to the public.
Yes.
And now, for me, it's a little bit convoluted because
Why?
Because you based on law, when you're in the middle of presenting a case, do you just usually turn and change the facts that you're presenting?
That is not the
and go
case.
on
You,
something
can't,
else?
you cannot use that.
Because that
You
is
cannot.
exactly
If you
what
said-
I'm getting.
If you
cannot
said,
believe
Craig,
this is
that
happening.
if you said, Craig, that
but
no, but let me start.
Go ahead.
If you said, Craig, that they're here now, but they've been detained, they have an outstanding case, and because they have an outstanding case, they're now to me, if you started, you can start out to say you're going to say
You
Martin.
can't hear your words. This
Okay.
is discriminatory.
Okay.
You can't tell them that.
Calm down, Craig. Calm down. Calm down. Because
If I decide I want to leave today, buy a ticket or buy a boat and go to Antigua or go to Nevis or go to Ethiopia as I went, and I decide when I'm in Ethiopia, I decide to stay. That's my choice. You can't come question me about whether I stay and why I should not stay.
remember the whole.
It is my right.
Remember,
but that's not what we were initially
Craig,
basing the argument on, right?
Remember,
No?
you would
They
have-
were illegally detained according to you because the boat
I never said
broke
that.
down.
The court will decide
The
that.
boat
Please don't
broke
put nothing in
down.
the mouth because
They
I don't
did
want to
not
get
come
chastised
off
by the
of the
court.
boat.
I did not say that.
I'm saying it.
Okay,
Me. You
thank
could tell them. Candisie Franklin.
Very good.
Candy.
I'm going to ask my senior to be represented just in case he comes.
Right.
Please.
I can come too.
I'm
Anybody
just
else
saying.
listen?
I'm just saying. It casts a shadow of doubt for me.
Why?
It casts a shadow of doubt.
Why? What is the doubt?
Because-
About what?
Because it makes it seem. Because, for example,
They were not coming to St. Kitts.
They were not coming to St. Kitts.
That's
what
a
you're
fact.
saying.
Everybody
Mhm.
accept that.
Mhm.
Right.
Good.
They were going to St. Martin to shop.
Okay.
Something happened on their way to
Good.
St.
And they
Martin.
decide, well, now they're free, they're going to stay. Because it is their right. You know why it's a right? It's their right as CARICOM nationals of St. Kitts, of Haiti
Fine.
and Dublin. Simple.
Fine.
To stay for 6 months.
That's correct.
Okay.
Let me go back to the question I was asking the young man. What is their mental status like right now? So this is not where we wanted to be. We're here. And well, like I said, they were planning to go shopping. So I right in assuming that now that these persons are free, they're not going to be a burden on the state because they would have had means to sustain themselves, and then their brothers, their colleagues, their fellow countrymen took them in. Feel free to jump in here anytime because Craig is quiet now.
I am very much. Thank you very much.
I don't
What is
want
their mental
Yeah.
status like?
The mental state, it's like I said, since Saturday, they've been released. They're ready to integrate the community. That has been done. anything after, it will be on them, because my part as a resident that are living in St. Kitts and as a Haitian national also, it's basically try my best to help them and to be there for them as a guide. That's it. So if the mental state, I can't talk about it.
Thank you.
But the only thing that I could say, they're healthy, they're
happy?
They're basically like since Saturday, so.
But saying
It's a-
happy
it's a-
would be
it's-
able to be talking to the mental state.
It's
so.
a
Well,
blessing
happy.
because 4 months they have been basically forced to adapt a certain living that they basically, I think, that not supposed to.
Thank you.
Because we Haitian and as Guyanese, basically we know our breakfast is heavy, our dinner is heavy. But unfortunately, in St. Kitts, is more European side. It's just light.
What do you know about Guyanese breakfast?
No, he's a Caribbean man.
I've been in Guyana. I've been in Guyana several times, and ground provision.
It's not heavy.
Ground provision is our breakfast, so basically,
No.
it's heavy. Maybe you don't eat heavy.
I'm telling you,
Let's
no.
let's not go there because Guyanese is my second home. But
Well, she went.
but basically the
2020.
the
But
mental state is
let's
stable, I
not
could say.
let's not
Now
be,
I have a concern. There was a
before you
pregnant woman.
go there, Candy, 'cause I have to go soon. I have
Oh, okay.
court.
Oh, you have to leave. Sorry, me too.
I just want to let us again, based on what the court decided as well. And I know you say you're going to appeal. The court decided that the captain, the magistrate court
Yes.
decided that the captain was guilty of smuggling.
No. See, that's the wrong information.
What is it?
The captain was guilty of breaches to the Immigration Act and the Customs Act. Two counts on the Immigration Act and 1 count on the Customs Act.
Okay.
So there was
See,
no
so the
smuggling.
thing we have
Smuggling
here, because
was never
all the
an issue.
articles keep
I want to
saying
make that clear. And so when persons of particular ilk making those national statements, it's incorrect. It's incorrect. It's misleading. There was nothing at all in this court or anything to do with human smuggling at all. That wasn't. So when I'm hearing that, I kind of concerned.
It's because of what's out there. So this is your
Well, I want to make
opportunity
it
to
clear.
correct it.
There was no issue at all about human smuggling at all in this matter or in any matter in regards to our brothers and sisters, our CARICOM brothers and sisters from Haiti.
Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing the outcome of the case and reading the judgment when it's out.
Yes. And
Did you guys have a date?
I can't say no. But
Craig.
But I'm just waiting as well. We will see what the end is. We will go to the end of it. This is just the one stake. This is the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court. We still have the CCJ to deal with.
Craig, what do you say?
For the
to
interpretation of the treaty.
And then they're going to address the situation with Haitians one time.
Craig.
Well, I look forward to see the outcome and the matter. I have to run.
Yeah, Azard wants to
What-
exit, so we'll
yeah,
let you
okay.
put through your
Just a
question.
quick question before you go. What do you say to the people who say that this whole Haitian thing smacks of political gamesmanship with a side
my
of
goodness.
with a side of legal opportunism? I mean,
I can. One way to answer about
you
that.
know?
It's hypocrisy. So let me give you an example. There was a time when we had some petitions in Jamaica. There were some students. We had some issues, right? If it were not for a lawyer in Jamaica to address that and to make sure that our brothers and sisters of St. Kitts who were in Jamaica at the time get their rights protected and enforced, did that lawyer do it because of political gamesmanship or for legal things?
But it's different though.
No, it's not.
because
How is it different?
It's different in the sense that petitions aren't generally in situations where they have to leave.
Really?
Flee their country.
Flee
their country.
Do you know that the
on
population of St. Kitts and Nevis, outside of St. Kitts and Nevis, is more than the population in St. Kitts and Nevis? What are you saying?
Yes, but it doesn't. No, but it doesn't.
And how you think they moved to get there?
It doesn't mean that most of us jumped on boats in a situation
When
where
our brothers and
when
our ancestors went to
losing your life.
when
leaving.
our ancestors went to England on the boat, that was no issue. You didn't know that when they end up in Leeds and in Birmingham.
You know, I always find that
The Windrush.
Yeah, but I always find that those arguments are straw man arguments because my thing is, I've always said, I have no issue with people coming here, but they should come here legally.
They came here legally. They did not come. First off, they didn't come here.
And also, if we just throw up our hands and allow everybody to come, we're only about 50,000 people. Everybody can swamp us.
Again,
Guyana can swamp us.
You see this thing again?
Haiti can swamp us.
Let me address
Dominican Republic can swamp us. Jamaica can swamp us.
Let me address it.
All of these countries are exponentially larger than we are.
This is a myopic and a very discriminatory position. We heard this argument when we were trying to establish OECS. We heard this argument when we were trying to establish the CARICOM.
Notice I said they can, as long as they come legally.
Let me finish. This was an issue that was being raised as a red herring by many of our people, especially in the smaller Caribbean states. Have we seen any, from the time of CARICOM and OECS, which is in 1981 to now, we see any, were you so-called rush from anywhere? Y'all need to stop this mentally. This is not right.
I'm just
this
saying,
just I'm trying
legally.
to educate.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm trying to educate.
Most petitions go where they go legally.
I am saying that we have not had any situation.
You have no proof of that. Let
Thank
him
you.
finish the sentence.
Thank you. There's no situation, especially in this matter, where they entered the country illegally at all. That's not the case. They were on their way to St. Martin. The boat fell into a distress. They stayed on the boat. The captain and the mechanic was trying to seek help. They were detained. That was that.
And what were they on their way to St. Martin to do again?
That's...
No. So were you mentioned about...
I never see this before. People questioning why people go into anywhere.
The reason he took the case. So do you want to address that?
No.
Okay. Now, I noticed that you mentioned that there were more petitions outside of St. Kitts.
That's a fact.
Do you have those figures?
Yeah, we have those figures.
Okay, awesome.
Ask the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
I'm going to ask you. Yeah. You're the one making the case.
Well, ask the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. That's a fact. That's a fact.
So you said you didn't have a date for the new
I don't know. No, the court will have to make that. And I must apologize if I seem very passionate about this matter. But, it's...
And a little defensive, actually. Craig, me and you can't fall out. We just have a discussion.
I'm just saying that I'm very passionate about this when it comes to my people, black people, right? I'm a Pan-Africanist in my mental state in terms of how I move. I'm a regionalist. I'm also a nationalist. But I will never let, as Marcus Garvey say, my myopic nationalism over a cloud the bigger picture. I will never, ever lose the respect or the gratefulness of the people of Haiti. Because if people understand history, they are the reasons why, not only we in the Caribbean, but black people in Africa got over slavery and also colonialism and neocolonialism. And that's why we have our independence. We could run our own state called St. Kitts and Nevis. If we forget that, then we are ungrateful.
So one of the main reasons you took the case is because you see it as discrimination.
Definitely. Not to deceit.
And
it is
so
discriminatory.
that is what you're going to be basing your argument.
Well, you tell me. If you have
I'm
a CARICOM, that it is. If you have a CARICOM movement, treaty, of all the member states could move freely, but one state, you're saying that they must have visa? Visitor visa? What that is?
But
that's
we've had
discriminatory.
other Haitians come into St. Kitts.
Yeah, by visas. By visitors. They had to apply for a visa.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying CARICOM has already made Haiti a member state since 2002.
But we're not the only country that requires them to have a...
I don't know about our own concern.
No, I've seen it.
Well, that is why I'm saying this issue will be addressed in the CCJ. It will. I'm telling you. It will reach there, but we're dealing with this matter here first. Because just as it was addressed with the Sharik marriage case, and now all Jamaicans get their rightful respect in all of the CARICOM, the same thing can happen for the Haiti. Haiti, I'm sorry.
Thank you very much for coming in today. Yes. We look forward to hearing more.
Craig, you want to take a call before you leave? We have about 6 minutes.
I have no problem taking a call.
Okay. We have a call?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that personal. They were ringing while you were speaking. I didn't want to.
So again, I'm sorry for the public if I seem very aggressive or offensive, as someone might say.
Okay, let's go with the call.
But I'm very passionate about this. Yes, go ahead.
Hello. Good morning.
I don't see you're on.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Tuckett.
Good morning, good morning.
And we want to thank you to letting this country to know that Haitian is a part of the Caribbean. It's CARICOM citizens, and we got to welcome them, but we're not going to tolerate coming in this country illegals. Because we see what's happening down there, right?
Yes.
But that's enough for that. We want the governments them to respect these people. And when we could help them, help.
Thank you.
You understand? That's where we want. Now, I want to talk to the three hosts there. Azard, the nice voice lady,
Yes.
and my
She's
good
very
friend,
pretty too.
DJ Man. You all realized yesterday when I called in and I was trying to get the lady from the Trades and Labor Union because we have to, and I radio host, got to get into these youngsters' head that no politician going to help them with a paycheck. You need a union. And I'm glad to see some of these young people stepping up to the fort to run a trade and labor union. Mind, we had hiccups in the past, but let that bygone because politicians bring that straight to us.
Yes.
The best is the fellow of our country. You understand? And I could tell you, you know, what I want to see you all doing and asking, why is it when these ministers travel and labor laws, they're walking with nobody from the union? Why? It's because the folks is big. When they're going on big journey, they have a lady out there right now. It's so much a meeting she have to attend. And you find that she cannot attend all. We want her to attend all, especially a man like me. The reason why we want them to equip to come and help us. I just hope that these youngsters trying to spread the wings and affiliate with union in the win one.
Okay, caller.
You understand? We want that. We need it. We need it. And I read your who's going to play a role, you know, to help this thing, you know. People are unionize themselves.
Yes.
No
I agree.
politician will help you with a paycheck, you know.
That's
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you
agree
so
with
much
that.
for your call.
Keep fighting.
Thank you. And I agree with you. We need a strong union. We all know the history of the union movement here in St. Kitts and Nevis. I was also, at one time, the youngest executive member of the St. Kitts and Nevis Trades and Labor Union. It's unfortunate the state of the affairs of the union, and hopefully the union will get stronger.
Let's take another one briefly. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen.
Okay.
Good morning.
Candisie.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm impressed with what, Craig is doing there for the Haitians. But, something that he says pertaining to the case with Shanice in Barbados.
Yes.
And he mentioned that the Jamaicans have now getting their respect.
Yes.
It's amazing how I like to look at these things on the spiritual level, that the Most High is trying to tell us how we have to unite.
Thank you.
And the fact that Craig mentioned that Jamaicans are now getting their respect. You see, all that is going on with this war and the shutting down of the churches in COVID. The Most High does not dwell in temples made by hands. So all these are lessons for us to analyze and see the bigger picture that we have to unite as a collective. I just want to say that I am behind Craig, and I appreciate what he's doing for the Haitian. We are one people. We are connected by DNA. We need to get used to that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your call. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Any last words?
Well, first let me thank Win FM and Azard and yourself and my good friend behind the glass there for this, because we need that type of discussion. We need those type of debates, intellectual debates. We need as a country to have these discussions so that we can advance our country forward.
I wanted you to get the facts out because everybody's wondering.
So I will just say I'm happy that I would like to thank the Ministry of National Security for making the right decision. And I will say, once you see the rights of everyone being upheld, the rights that will ensure that everyone is treated as a human being and according to their constitutional rights and the rights according to international law, you'll see a better society and you'll see a better country, you'll see a better region. So have no fear, my good people of St. Kitts and Nevis. I want you to know that all is well, and this will lead to a better understanding of what we want and what we should do as a people. Not only as a people in the Caribbean, but as a black people in the world.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thank you
Craig.
so much for that. And
Thank
you guys for tuning in
I
today.
love the Pan-African energy, though, I have to say.
We will definitely stay tuned, stay abreast with what's happening, and we wait to hear more from you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Craig.
much. Have a good day today, everyone.
Yes, same to you.
Thank you.
Hope you're going to be listening.
I will.
Okay.
picture with you.
Oh, yeah. Quench me thirst, I bust that time now. Watch me, I bust and smile out. Ah, boy. Freestyle, free buster, a freestyle. Watch we are playing full color meanwhile. One leap of flavor, every one of them choice. The drink are refreshing and nice. Me tell you say a buster, me buy you with my money. This a everybody drink, I know me one love it. Have it ya, for the kids, them daddy harmony. Buster, we playing full color.